Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Kurtis Joseph here. I wanted to take a little bit of time out today in order to talk about some of the sorcerous applications of power that are presented within the Path of Smoke, as presented within the book Black Magic of Ahriman. And I really want to do this because, when the book first started to get promoted, there was specific aspects of the work that were found to be of interest by the people. Principles like Kunda Yoga pretty much took off. Principles such as invocation or reverse possession also seemed to catch the interest of others, and the vampiric aspects of the work dealing with the dark goddess Az-Jahi also seemed to be work that took priority within the minds of those who were interested. And these are very powerful aspects of the work, but even though they are very powerful, a lot of people miss the fact that this book, this grimoire, is actually a grimoire of spiritual warfare. And I don't think right now, to this day, people understand that. I mean, the ultimate premise of this work is to essentially devour and consume the false light of the false gods so that we can utilize it as nourishment for the divine light within, so that we can become whole within these meat suits and get back to where we need to be in regard to human evolution. But because it is a book of spiritual warfare, the alchemical work uh, seemed to be of the utmost priority. And that is because the alchemical work is necessary in order to condition the spiritual bodies and the subtle energy bodies to deal with this kind of spiritual warfare. I mean, let's face it, when you go to war with ancient gods, those gods will oblige you. These are egregores, which do seek to survive and remain in control. And this remains true whether these are external sentient forces, which rule the world as archons, or whether they are internal energetic blockages or self-imposed limitations. But we have to remember that, the elements of sorcery definitely are not any less important than the alchemical work upon the path of smoke. And I say that because this corporeal plane of existence seems to be very limited. It seems to be very dense. And because of this, people have almost lost hope. People have almost ceased to work towards making their dreams come true upon this plane, and they have simply given in to the slave system. They go to work, they come home and eat, they watch some television, and they go to bed. Then the archons hit the repeat button, and it happens all over again, and it's an endless dance of slavery. The sorcerous elements upon the path of Dihak, the path of sorcery, are very important because this deals with defiling the creation of the false gods by weaving and usurping the fabric of reality and molding it and shaping it according to the will of the Zanda, or the priest or apostle of Ahriman, or priestess, sorry. Now, what has to be understood is that there are seemingly isolated sorcerous elements within this work, such as the 101 names of Angra Mainyu. These can be charged and harnessed and utilized towards sorcerous objectives. Then, there's the lamps of fate. One could also utilize the Pahlavi alphabet to create sigils that represent desires. There is the utilization of plant material, herbs, as sympathetic links, which can be, utilized within poppet magic or sympathetic sorcery. But these isolated elements, though they do produce powerful results, need to be looked at as dots which can be connected to create a dynamic of synergy. And here's what I'm saying, like, for instance, the 101 names of Angra Mainyu can be combined to create a synergistic effect and further refine focus in regard to utilizing them as mantras within sorcerer's practice. The lamps of fate are also a very potent way of creating change within one's subjective reality. And within the lamps of fate, there's a principle that I talk about. And this principle deals with harnessing the destructive impulse. And here's what I mean by that. We all come to know what we desire, lickety split, like straight out of the gate. We can figure out what we want pretty fast. But we never really contemplate that which stands in the way of our desire. And as a result, as we're trying to force this change upon our reality, all of our obstacles are still in the way. And so a lot of times the results of our magic are buffered. It doesn't have that refined punch that's really needed to force our will into this subjective reality. But when we contemplate those things which stand in our way, and we harness the destructive impulse to remove those obstacles directly, now all of a sudden the intensity of manifestation increases tenfold. And not only that, the destructive impulse is directly harnessed so that that energy does not ripple out and begin to permeate our reality, beginning within the nucleus of the spell, being the life experience of the Zonda or the practitioner. Because that's what occurs. All of this threefold law bullshit that people talk about, karma, it has nothing to do with, us being punished for how we are using our magic. You see, what occurs when we try to force our will upon this corporeal plane is that this destructive energy, when it is not consciously directed, it permeates our reality, because before anything can be created, that which currently is within the eternal moment of counter creation must first be directly destroyed. When it's not consciously directed, it will ripple out into reality, and it can wreak havoc in your life. Sometimes it may not, sometimes it may. But you better guarantee that which is will first be destroyed, and it will have an effect. When you consciously direct this, though, the intensity of result will multiply tenfold. And so it must be understood that though this is mentioned within the lamps of fate, it needs to be applied within all sorcery that we perform. Not just the lamps of fate, but also sigil magic, also mantra magic. When we're harnessing herbs and creating poppets, We need to understand that that which is needs to first be destroyed, and we need to contemplate that. And we need to learn how to consciously direct that so that we can truly harness the power that we are exercising towards creating positive change in our lives and the lives of others, so that this practice will enrich our lives to the greatest extent of possibility that we desire. The sorceress methods presented within Black Magic of Ahriman, it's not even the tip of the iceberg. There is so much that can be done in regard to fetishes, and you're going to find out that future work is going to open up doorways in regard to sorceress applications of the path of smoke in very powerful and profound ways. But within this video, I essentially wanted to bring up the fact that the destructive impulse is something that we need to learn to harness and direct in a conscious manner. This is what is truly going to increase the intensity of result. And this is what is truly going to allow your power to develop in ways that the power of most magicians and witches just do not stand up to. They will not be able to compete with your powers of manifestation. And, you will be able to transform your life in more powerful ways so that you can focus more on ascent. And so I really just wanted to bring this up because it is one very subtle aspect of this work which has been neglected as people have taken interest in regard to, invocation and, kunda yoga, things of that nature. All right, with that being said, I'm going to end this video. Until next time, Kurtis Joseph signing out. Devour, destroy, become, or be crushed.